While browsing awards for ideas for my next video, I came across this really cool website, and one section immediately stood out. As you move through the page, the images smoothly rotate and slide away while the next set of content fades and rotates into view. So I decided to recreate something similar, and this is what I came up with. In the original website, this animation plays as part of the About page while you continue scrolling. For this tutorial, I pinned the section so you can focus entirely on the transition effect and better understand how it's built. We'll build a smooth scroll-driven showcase where each image collage and text section transitions seamlessly into the next, all controlled by a single GSAP timeline. If you enjoy these kinds of animation tutorials, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. Now, let's jump into the code. Inside app.jsx, the setup is very simple. We have a full-screen hero section, the main showcase component, and then a full-screen footer. Inside the component, we start with a section element and attach a ref to it, which we'll use later with GSAP. It fills the entire viewport, hides any overflowing content, and acts as the container for both the text content and the image showcase that will animate as the user scrolls. Inside the section, I create a simple two-column layout. The left side will hold the text content, while the right side will display the image collages that transition in and out as we scroll. This layout keeps the content and visual separate, making it much easier to animate them independently. On the left side, I create a container for all the text sections. Inside it, I simply map over a sections data array imported from the assets file. Each object in that array contains a tag, some text, and the images that belong to that particular section. Keeping everything inside a data array makes it really easy to add, remove, or reorder slides without changing the JSX. For each item in the array, I create a text section and position it absolutely. This way, every section occupies the same space, allowing us to smoothly fade one out while bringing the next one in during the scroll animation. Inside each text section, I simply render the tag and the heading using the data from the array. The styling here is purely for presentation, giving us a clean editorial look similar to the original design. On the right side, I create another container that will hold all of the image collages. It's positioned relatively, with overflow visible, so we can stack multiple image clusters on top of each other and animate them independently during the scroll. Inside this container, I add another wrapper for the image collages and then map over the same section's data array. This keeps each text section paired with its corresponding images. For every item, I create an image cluster and position it absolutely so all of the clusters are stacked in the same place. This allows us to smoothly transition one cluster out while bringing the next one in during the scroll animation. I also set a custom transform origin, so the rotation feels more dynamic instead of rotating from the exact center. Inside each image cluster, I simply create two image cards using the images from the current section. I give each one a slightly different size, position, and rotation to create a layered collage effect. Most of the classes here are just for styling, adding shadows, borders, and a bit of grayscale. Before starting with the GSAP animation, let's import GSAP, ScrollTrigger, and useGSAP, and then register them. After that, I create refs for the main container and the image wrapper. The container ref will be used as the scope for useGSAP, while the second ref gives us a reference to the image section whenever we need it. Now inside useGSAP, I first select all of the text sections and image clusters. Then, I store the total number of slides from the data array. We'll use these references to animate the content and calculate how far the user needs to scroll through the entire showcase. Before creating the animation, I set the initial state for all of the text sections except the first one. They start slightly below their final position with 0 opacity, so only the first slide is visible when the page loads. I do something similar for the image clusters. Every cluster except the first one starts rotated, shifted away from the center, and completely hidden. This gives us a clean starting point, so the next images can smoothly rotate and slide into place as the user scrolls. Now I create a master timeline and attach a scroll trigger to it. Instead of creating a separate scroll trigger for every slide, this single timeline controls the entire showcase. The animation starts when the section reaches the top of the viewport, stays pinned while we scroll, and the scroll distance is based on the total number of slides. I also enable scrub, so the timeline stays perfectly synchronized with the user scroll, making every transition feel smooth and responsive. Next, I loop through all of the text sections. Since the first slide is already visible when the page loads, I skip it and start from the second one. For every iteration, I grab references to the previous text, the previous image cluster, and the current image cluster. We'll use these references to animate the old content out while bringing the new content in. Then, I create a timeline label for each slide and add it to the master timeline. Using labels makes it much easier to synchronize multiple animations, because everything related to the same slide transition can start from this single point in the timeline. Now I animate the previous slide out. The text fades away while moving slightly upward, and at the same time, the current image collage rotates, moves away from the center, and fades out. Since both animations start at the same timeline label, they play together, creating a smooth transition from one slide to the next. Right after that, I animate the next slide in. The text fades into place with a slight delay, while the next image collage rotates back to its original position, moves to the center, and becomes fully visible. By overlapping these animations, one slide naturally replaces the previous one, resulting in a much smoother and more polished transition. And here's the final result. Using React and GSAP, we built a smooth scroll-driven showcase where the section stays pinned while the text and image collages seamlessly transition from one slide to the next. By combining ScrollTrigger with a single master timeline, we were able to coordinate every animation in a clean and scalable way. If you enjoyed this tutorial or learned something new, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.